Okay, so I did a video earlier, just a very short 10-minute video about the Blair White thing, and then it ran out. And I suppose nobody's watching my channel anyway except me. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the things that are happening in America. I've been avoiding the whole controversies in America. I made a few videos when Trump became president, basically ranting, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Come on." For people my age, for people who are maybe a little bit more politically savvy than the average schmo, this is nothing new. But for example, Donald Trump represented a lot of more a hope for a lot more people than the president has in a long time. Probably since Bill Clinton, I'm afraid to say. When Bill Clinton came to power, it was one of these kind of glorious moments where we were just like, yay, we've got a cool president, this is so good. If only the light of his life had kind of been exposed. Then now the Clintons are finished, the Podestas are finished, these things are coming to an end now, and it's time that happens, and it's good, it's a celebratory time. So a lot of people are getting rich, and a lot of people are getting left in the dust, and I'm afraid I'm one of the ones that have been left in the dust. Not just simply because like my political image is just so easily destroyed. Essentially, people are riding high on this wave of this movement that's happening. It's happening. The happening is happening. So, you know, Donald Trump could possibly build a lot. He's just done the China and Russia tour, as every president does, and they all shake hands and they all have a little whisper in their ear like, "Thanks for putting in a good word for me during the election." No, he didn't help me win the election. Every president does it. In England, we have similar situation when the Prime Minister is promised the PM-ship, and they have to do a little a kind of Cirque du Soleil sort of thing. Like, first one who gets to the House of Commons becomes the next PM, but like, you know, only the people in the know get to know. It's all monarchistic games from way back when. And then they are going to have tea with the Queen. So, essentially, the Blair White thing, she's one of these really odd characters in the trans community. She's always been quite outspoken, I suppose, kind of trans person, and she's very beautiful, and she's very sexy, and she's very successful, and I think when people reach that level of success, it's people become very upset that it didn't happen for them. I am certainly one of those people. I thought I was going to totally make it, but I didn't, and I'm kind of stuck in this sort of limbo. You know, we make mistakes. I made mistakes. I spread myself too thin. And I didn't. I had such a terrible base. It was just easily swept from the swept asunder. Swept. Anyway, it was swept aside. My life was just forfeit. Anyway, blah blah blah. But yeah, the left, this whole left-right dichotomy, it's quite a silly thing. Shouldn't have a left and a right. I mean, we've got a left brain and a right brain. I have brain damage on the left-hand side of my brain. So, yeah, it's one of these things where you're just like, oh, it's, you know, this, that, and the other, la 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 la. You gotta just keep going. Gotta keep on going, my dudes. I think as well. I find myself being one of these people who, okay, despite there being this kind of idea of there being a left and a right, you know, I don't subscribe to a left and a right ideology. I'm a centrist. But here's the thing: if you end up punching someone in the face, you automatically get called a kind of leftist sort of thing. Or if you read in the comments, I get a few comments every now and then, which is cool, so thank you. And again, you know, even to the people who are going, it's a play, you ugly, mate, you're a fucking bloke, mate. Thank you for commenting, you know. I love my haters and I love my supporters. I don't have any of them though. I love you anyway. I am my only supporter and I love me. Mwah. I'm a narcissist. So, basically, just kind of, it's difficult because you will find that you don't. It's not a specific. And you can't subscribe. I'm gonna draw a diagram. I like drawing diagrams. I do. I love them. But you can't divide. You can if you want, but like say there is a division. Say there's like a division down the middle, right? Say there's the division down the middle, and like you subscribe to this and this and this and this. It's like a ladybird. Look, it looks like a pretty ladybird, right? So I think any reasonable person with a critical and with the ability to critically analyze not just themselves but other people's actions, regardless, and like I find it very difficult, especially with the kind of the way that the brain is damaged on the back side of my head, kind of like here. This is lizard brain, so this is all primal instincts, medulla kind of stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, fruity. Lizard brain shit going on, right? But you know, so if it's like, you know, this is the left and this is the right. Wait, no, this is the left. See? Anyway, but there you go. You swap them over. Like, so you might the left might be like, oh yeah, you know, I want trans rights, and you're like, yeah, cool, you know. But I also want to make America great again. You can have that. That's totally cool. Look, you can totally connect those dots, and that doesn't make you any less of a person who, you know. And the thing is, it's like this kind of, and this is like, I want to kill all men, and you're like, no, I don't want that in my life. That's rubbish. That's shit. I don't want to kill all men. Men are great. And so are women. Women are great as well. You're like, I want to kill all women. You're like, no, I don't want to kill all women. Women are great. Maybe you're like, oh, like, you know, I care about the environment, you know, but I also like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There you go, you can have a bit of that as well. There you go. We're putting some shapes here now, aren't we? So you don't have to subscribe to a specific political ideal, you know? And you can have, maybe you can have a little bit of down here like that. You're like, what if I'm like that? And then what if I really love puppies? But, you know, I also really love guns. There you go, you can love guns and puppies at the same time. You can do that, look. It's incredible. You see, you don't have to subscribe to a particularly only left and only right ideology. This is pathetic. It's a patheticness of patheticness. If I'd have done that properly, I would have made it into a beautiful little... Let's make it into a beautiful little thing. There we go. I'm making it into a beautiful little... Look at that. It's like a beautiful little thing of amazingness. There we go. There you go. It's like a... And in the centre, right there. Right there is the centre. It's in the centre. That's where... that's where your knowledge should accumulate. Right in the centre. Right here. Right in the center. Why am I drawing on my head? Anyway, it should be right in the middle. You should be able to take information from both sides and come up with the truth. So this kind of you know, stuff. Like, oh gosh, I wish I was beautiful. Well, we're all beautiful on the inside, I suppose. Not all of us. We're all beautiful in our own way. I don't know. Our eternal quest for beauty continues. And we just kind of like have to, you know, it's like I was talking to my friend today and he's a bit of a fucking arsehole. But he was like, he's very British as well, so I like doing his accent because he's got quite a sort of British accent. So, oh hey, how you doing? Like, no, that's not a British accent, is it? I can't even do a British accent. Hey, how you doing today? Like, that's not even how his voice goes. Anyway, he's got this really kind of like groovy sort of accent, and he's like, so anyway, how much does your facial surgery cost? And I'm like, oh, it costs like a lot of money anyway. He's like, oh, well, you know, you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it, you know, you could do it. And that's the positivity that you want in life. But like, you know, when everyone's becoming millionaires because of cryptocurrency and stuff like that, and you just like can't even afford bread, and you're just like, for fuck's sake, I can't even afford bread. How am I gonna afford fucking facial surgery? But that's life. That's why I tried to kill myself. Cause like, you know, when everything fails and everything, your business fails and your love life fails and your transition fails, everything fails, and you're just like, oh, fucking long for this life, and you try to kill yourself. And then you realise, oh wait, that might not necessarily be the right thing to do. So this is my message to you little pretties. My little pretties. What you've got to do is not kill yourself. This is a bad thing. I come with warnings and messages from the other life. Do not do it. Because here's the thing. What if? It's just a what if. When you die, you come back to life. what if you end up facing the demon you created for yourself, you see? That's not a demon you want to come up against. Because it means, you see, what it means is you end up being self-defeated, self-defeatist, fuck's sake, can't say the word, self-defeated, self-defeating, self-defeated. If you can defeat yourself in that way, then I'm saying, maybe, what if you wake up dead, realizing that your own worst enemy is you, and you just killed yourself, and like you're fighting yourself. See, now here's the thing about getting rid of all the negativity in your life. Getting rid of it once and for all. But if you're just struggling with life, struggle until the end, until death claims you. As hard as that may be. So many people in my life, my grandparents, and gosh, you know, it's Remembrance Sunday today. Let's remember the people who, you know, didn't necessarily go blindly into a war to, you know, to end their lives, but to fight, to protect, and ended up losing their lives. Wait until death claims you. I say, be like the Buddha. The Buddha. Wait until death claims you. Buddha sat down by the Bodhi tree and he was just like, right, I'm done with life. If you want me, come get me. And death did come and get him. It did. And the thing about it is like, you've got to do that. You've got to do it for you. It's a long road. Life is a long road. Wait until death claims you. Wait until that moment of death. Struggle through life. It's a struggle. And struggle through it until the end. And this is speaking to myself as well as all of the people out there who may be considering that you know, killing themselves might be the way out. It's not. If anything, it's a way of ending your life to the point where it's, I don't know how to explain it. Don't do something that you will regret forever, basically. You see, because I don't necessarily regret doing it. That's the thing, because I came out the other side learning so much about myself, like learning about who I am, learning about my heart, learning about how strong I am. I've come to near death so many times in my life as well, from very young. I should have died so many times. Car accidents or falls and trips and stuff like this, and yet I didn't die. And the moment I tried to commit suicide, I was like, right, I'm just gonna kill myself. But I ended up actually surviving, and I actually ended up surviving my own attempt at my own life, and it made me realize I am so much stronger than I realize. Like, I am so much more powerful in myself than I realized. And it woke something up in me that was like, absolutely not going to hurt myself like this in any way anymore. But these people who are contemplating suicide, they haven't come to realization yet of the fact that, you know, you are going to become your own worst enemy. Perhaps, maybe that's life, but maybe not. Just wait and see what happens. Life's a journey. My journey, I suppose, was to the other side when I was, you know, at death's door, I suppose. And yet I'm back. And it was, It was one of those strange moments in my life. So, yes. We shouldn't have to put up with this stuff. Absolutely not. Violence towards yourself and violence towards other people is wrong. But we fail sometimes in this. This is our journey as well, of just self-discovery, of just, accepting and realising and knowing and learning and understanding that these kinds of things, they're not acceptable. They are not acceptable. None. No. But here's the thing. Punishing people, continuously punishing people, that also kind of compiles the problem. Do you see? It makes the problem worse. It exacerbates the problem. It makes it worse for the person. For example, you see someone, and the reactatory thing here was in the Blair White video, was some black guy going, and I wanted to go down there and I wanted to crush people. And I'm like, yes, dude, well, sure. But here's the thing. That just continues the circle of violence, you see? So, the fact that he didn't is the kind of point that is the point of all things, of to not continue this circle of violence. But the problem is, people don't do that. People get a bee in their bonnet about something. They want revenge. And here's the thing about revenge is, I think Yoda said it himself. Revenge leads to the dark side, right? And it will forever dominate your destiny. Or something like that. But that's the point. It will dominate your destiny, because what you'll do is you'll go after this person with this idea in your head that once I get my hands on them and I fucking tear them limb from limb, then I'm gonna feel better. And you're like, afterwards, you don't. You feel worse. Because that hatred has now taken root inside of you, and it's eaten you up, and it's eaten up any goodness inside of you, and you've gone after them, and it's difficult. So escalation of events as well is horrible, because I've seen and I know that escalation of events happens so quickly. Someone might throw a pencil, and then they'll be like, why did you throw a pencil at me? And then like, because you're a faggot or something like that. And then the next second, someone's getting punched in the face, and then the person who's punching, and then they punch in the face, and then like it turns into another thing, and then people end up getting stabbed, shot, killed, bombs start getting dropped, wars start happening. Like, I mean, you think it's an exaggeration, but for example, depends on the person. Helen of Troy, for example, she was a queen, right? So when she was slighted, or apparently slighted, she cheated on her husband and stuff like that, and they waged war, and then the whole city of Troy ended up being sacked. Escalation happens. I don't think Agamemnon would have defeated Troy. Nobody else had. He could have gotten siege weapons, sure, but I still think Troy had a big enough army to have defended themselves from their walls, and I don't think Agamemnon would have been able to take over. But he did. He did, thanks to the naivety of Troy and the stupidity of, the whole thing, basically. But yeah, I mean, don't think for a second that violence begets violence, but the escalation of violence, that's the thing. It's like, oh, you've slighted me, therefore, because you have slighted me, I will slight you back. So, some people say threefold Some people say tenfold, some people say 20-fold. Well, where does it stop? It stops with having to go, I want revenge, but I am not going to take it. I've been down that road, I know where it leads, and I don't want to be there again. I don't want to be in that situation of violence and hatred and aggression, not just in myself but towards other people, you know. But there are people out there who don't necessarily feel the same way, and these are the people that you're sort of antagonizing. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You want to go out and have, you know, your freedom to be able to wear whatever you want, say whatever you want, necessarily say whatever you want, as long as it's not hate speech or, you know, pushing hate speech. You want to be able to do those kinds of things, and without fear of repercussion, you know, without fear of repercussion. So, and we see it a lot where the escalation of violence is the thing that makes this a terrible thing. So, I suppose people are desperate for justice, this kind of social justice, but the ends don't justify the means, you see. I'm not saying we all have to get along. So I got into a conversation the other day, and I called someone a faggot, and they went, "We don't tolerate that kind of language here." And I said, "Grow a fucking pair, mate. For fuck's sake. Like, grow up. Grow a thicker pair. Grow some thicker skin." I said, "There's no place for freedom of speech anymore." I said, you know, back to Fortune. "Oh, edgelord, you're so edgy, man." I'm like, come on. Fuck's sake. 4chan was bastion of free speech, and to a certain degree it kind of still is. But yeah, I mean, people, I mean, this is the thing, like, people say, "Oh, edgy 4chan and all of this, and oh, it's not as good as it used to be," but it's never good. Never good. If you ever think 4chan was good, then fuck off. It's the running joke from 2004. /B was never good. Like, 4chan was never good. Like, it was always a shithole. But this is the thing. Spending goddamn fucking 12 years now. Shit. No, wait. 12 years? Oh, my maths is so fucked up. Hold on, let me do it on my fingers. 2004, innit? 14, 15, 16, 17. 13 years? Yeah, 14 years. Fuck, yeah, it really has almost been 14 years. Shit. I thought it had been, you know, but spending 14 years on 4chan, you can totally sort of understand, like, every fucking year someone says, "Oh, 4chan's lost its shit." It's like, 4chan's the same as it was in 2004. It's still a fucking shithole. But here's the thing, in that shithole, everyone is exactly the same, in a sense, where after a while you do become desensitized to a point. There were some things that were always a bit too much. Like, I've never been, you know, you get bombarded with, like, animal cruelty or, like, pornography that's questionable on that channel, and it's one of these things that kind of, like, wakes you up to the depravity, that the actual evilness in the world that we're fighting. Where is that evilness? Like, I will just label it as evil. Moralists, and especially moral ambiguists, will say something along the lines of, "Well, there's no such thing as morality, really. That's a human-made concept." But I decide to label animal cruelty as evil and questionable pornography as evil, and where does the source of that evil sort of come from? Because here's the thing, with this current climate of left and right, what we are noticing is a trend that the people on the left, they virtue signal about being really pious, good, virtuous, that they fight for justice, that they're the good guys, that they're the ones with the brains, that they're the ones that have got it right and that you've got it wrong. But they also go around committing acts of violence. They're the ones smashing up universities every year. They're the ones starting riots. They're the ones who proclaim Marxism and fucking communism are a system that works, even though they've been proven to be broken so many times. And yet they still don't listen to reason or rationality. And Dr. Lehman was saying, I am against Marxism for a lot of reasons. And I think actually it's because he might have actually grown up in a communist bloc, possibly in a Marxist culture. And so for that reason alone, he can see from a first person perspective. But also he's very learned. He's a very learned man, don't you know? And yeah, he just, I will sit there and listen to your rationale about why Marxism works. If you've got a coherent argument about why it might work, I'm not going to agree with you. I think you're stupid, but I'll still listen to it. At least if you put just the tiniest bit of effort into it, I'll listen to you. And I'll debate you because I love debating. He's got a great voice in it. Hello, you beautiful bastards. He's fantastic. I love him. Anyway, he makes me feel all like inside. I don't know what that. He makes me feel inside. So, yeah, these are cultural Marxists, communists. They clearly got mental health issues. I'm not saying that the people on this supposed right don't have a lot of that either, but they are quite kind of noticeable. Growing up in college, they were the guys who were like walking around in England anyway. They're the guys walking around in like bomber jackets with like British bulldogs on their arms and like Dr. Martens and skinheads go, fucking pack easy, go home, fucking. Well, no, they weren't necessarily communists. I'd say they were more like neo-fascists. Possibly. Still, I could have a pint with them. That was the funny part. That's the funny thing about it. Is I could sit down, have a pint, and have a reasonable debate with like a Nazi, like, and have a pint and be like, so yes, Hitler did nothing wrong, and I'd be like, well, he did kill 50 million people, and like, yeah, but he didn't do nothing wrong though. Oh, fucking good times, you know. And then we'd have a pint together. That's college though, isn't it? But and they went out fucking, raping and pillaging at the end of the night, and I'd just go home and smoke a spliff, go to bed alone every night for the past 14 years. Oh, my life is miserable. But we can't all have that poo-tang, can't we? We can't all have that game poo-tang falling on your face every night, can you? So 14-year dry spell. I feel like playing Guns N' Roses. Don't get back 14 years in just one day. Don't fucking do hard to keep my own head. You hear what I say? Anyway, that song's prolific. I love Guns N' Roses back in the day. So yeah, my voice feels so fucked. That's because I've been smoking and drinking whiskey. Don't smoke and drink whiskey unless you want a really, really super gruff voice like me. I'm like a billy goat. Meh. Meh. Billy goat. Meh. It's quite easy to sort of dissect these people because it's quite easy to dissect stupidity, but it's difficult when you come across very intellectual people who are subversive, and so it's nice to see people like Dr. Lehman and others. Croughton T did a nice video today actually about genetics, and coming from a biomed background myself, that was really cool, and it made me want to crack out my biology books again. Maybe we might do some biology tomorrow. Let's do some balancing equations tomorrow. That would be fun, won't it? If I can remember how to do it. I don't even have a clue. I wouldn't even know where to begin right now. I'm like balancing an equation. If I have fucking balance an equation right here. I know it kind of goes like this, and then there's an arrow like that. Right. I'll crack out my books tomorrow. No, I won't. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. This is why I failed biomedicine. Oh, my dreams of cloning a body perfect and beautiful and then transferring my consciousness into it is gone. I died. That's life, I suppose. Oh gosh, I just depressed myself again. Yeah, I have to go the old basic route and fucking carve up my face with butcher knives and stuff to make myself look all pretty, rather than cloning myself a body and transferring my mind into the body of a beautiful woman. I'll just have to cope with virtual reality, where I have a virtual body and virtual sex, where I don't actually feel any pleasure in the sex, and it's just like a knife piercing my brain constantly, like ow, 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 like that. That'll be amazing and fun, won't it? That'll be like, that's the kind of life you want to live, innit? Having like virtual perfect world just stabbing you in your imperfect face every fucking day for the rest of your life. That'll be shit, wouldn't it? Be great. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. And that's why I'm weird. So, I was looking through my book collection. I want to end this with an inspirational quote or something. I think I want to end my videos with an inspirational quote. Because if you've made it this far, I feel like if I can't just do a nipple slip all the time, because it's rude, and I only did it for jokes anyway, because I was a bit drunk. But I want to end this on an inspirational note. I'm trying to look at books that are inspirational. It's inspirational, isn't it? It's the London Eye. That's inspirational, isn't it? That's London. Anyway. Inspirational books. The Odyssey? What about Shakespeare? Shakespeare? Or Odyssey. No, Homer's Odyssey. Homer's Odyssey is not really inspirational, is it? Oh, look! It opened up on it. Pig, 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 be a pig, be a pig. Odysseus, I feel no long floppy ears, I see no sprouting tail. Circe, she beats his chest. Pig, pig, pig! Odysseus, he grabs her by the neck. He draws his sword. What sort of a hog could handle a weapon like this pig can? Rest the blade, just so, on the butcher's neck. What name will you give to this beast? You are Odysseus, here in my house. Hermes predicted you'd come one day, with your twisting words like a box of snakes, with your iron strength, your quick tongue, your golden face. And how accurate he was, how truthful and precise. Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? One of my favourite books of all time. Maybe I should read you the book. Let's end it on an inspirational quote from Shakespeare. Oh, this is an entire fucking book of Shakespeare. I thought it was just quotes. Measure for Measure, The 12th Night, Enter Olivia, The Merchant of Venice. Oh, I bookmarked it. Why have I bookmarked it? Okay, I've bookmarked it here. He that commends me to mine own content, my original content, that I'm stealing from Shakespeare. He that condemns me to mine own content commends me to the thing I cannot get. I to the world am like a drop of water. Oh, those drops of water are like tears in the ocean, or something like that. That in the ocean seeks another drop. Who, failing there to find his fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds himself. So I, to find a mother and a brother, in a quest of them, unhappy, lose myself. That's an interesting quote, and I bookmarked it. Why did I bookmark it? Why am I asking you? Like, you know. You wouldn't know why I bookmarked it, would you? Enter Dromio of Ephesus. Here comes the almanac of my true date. What now? How chanced thou art returned so soon? Joey, returned so soon? Rather approached. Okay, I don't know. That was Odysseus. No, that was Homer. That was Shakespeare, not Odysseus. Anyway, my lovelies, I wanted to make a video. Sorry, I'm messing around now. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope that Blair's okay, and I hope everyone's okay, and I hope everyone is great and lovely and amazing, and I love you all. And loving yourself is half the battle. The whole battle is the whole battle. Remember to love yourself. Even if there's things inside of you that feel like it's not. You got to remember to love yourself. So remember to love yourself. Love thyself. Fuck thy neighbour. Fuck thy neighbour. Cool. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my subscribers and my viewers if I've got any. Thank you to anybody in the future. I am Hitler, apparently. Bye. See you later. And yeah, I mean, you know, be cool, be chill, leave a comment. I like your comments. I want more dialogue. It would be nice to be involved in a little bit of dialogue. Like I say, you know, I remember when YouTube used to really be about a dialogue rather than just a diatribe and a kind of a rant at other people. And I know that people, you know, wanted to make money and stuff like that. And I know that people have been kind of working behind the scenes in this YouTube game for a long time. But I remember when YouTube was a little bit more fluid. And I know that there's like other platforms like Vine and Snapchat and other places like that, but I don't feel attuned to any of them, similarly to the way I don't feel attuned to, you know, 4chan or Tumblr or Reddit. I don't use these places much. I know that a lot of people use these kind of platforms to communicate with people on YouTube and vice versa, like Facebook and Twitter. But again, I don't have those platforms. I don't care so much about getting 100 messages and all of this every single day. You know, and constantly making Twitter updates and stuff like this. And I'm making these videos as a resource for myself, for you, if you find them and watching them, and for future. Because these are basically some kind of time capsule. In my head, they're a sort of time capsule of me, because one day I am gonna disappear and I won't ever be alive anymore, and I'm gonna not be here anymore. And that's really sad to know as well, because obviously that's sad. That's a sad reality for myself anyway. Maybe for you as well. But if someone does find these videos and rambles through them with me, then that's cool. I don't expect to ever achieve any kind of fame on these, and that's not why I'm doing them. I'm doing them for myself. I'm doing them for anybody who is able or willing to listen and having fun. And on that note, I shall say goodbye. Goodbye. Do you want to say goodbye, Gus? No? Okay, bye-bye. Bye. I don't know how many times I'm waving goodbye to myself forever.